All right, so let's do some examples. We have here that 3 students surveyed grade 8 students in their school. They asked how many times did you use a vending machine last week? 0 times, 1 to 3 times, 4 to 9 times, or 10 or more times. Emrit displayed the results on a circle graph. Fred used bar graph. Stella used a pictograph. What are the strengths and limitations of each graph? So if we look at a circle graph and we think about what are our benefits of a circle graph displays data to compare categories to the whole. It's easy to see the ratio, but we can't find individual pieces of data and it's difficult to draw accurately. So this is really easy to see that most students used the vending machine 1 to 3 times. We even had a good selection of people who used it 0 times. So it's easy to see that kind of ratio. Number of times we can see that precisely, well, not precisely, we can see that about 23 students use that much. I would say about 19 here, 7 here, maybe 6 here. So it's easy to see the amount rather than the ratio. Grade 8 students vending machine survey. This one, if we think back to what good things about a pictographs are best for comparing data that can be easily counted. But there's a large number of symbols, and we have a nice key. I don't love the key, but it's fine. So we have 19 here, 23 here, 7 here, and 6 here. So let's kind of just jump back and compare to what I said before. Yeah, I was actually bang on. That was a good scale then. So limitations of this one. Large amount of symbols. Key is small. There might have been a better value to use that would have made our symbols less and easier to read. And which graph is most appropriate? Well, it's probably either Amrit's or Fred's, and that just depends on what you're looking for. Like if you are looking for, like I would use a circle graph. So I would say B. I would use a circle graph because that ratio could be used to inform for the whole school student body. It wouldn't necessarily be accurate, but it could be done. Okay, next example. This table shows favorite types of video games of the grade 8 students at l'École Hollande. We have these types. We have the number of students. If we scroll down, we need to graph this data. So I went ahead and I used an Excel graph. All you have to do is type it in a table, highlight the table, and then insert a graph. I did that because it was easy to see. I made sure that I had a title, that I had my percentages, and I had what they are. I made sure that mine were in numerical order so that I had this nice ratio of ascending to descending. I did a circle graph and I did a bar graph because I wanted to show 2 different types available to you guys. I'm actually going to make these a little bigger. I didn't realize it would be hard to see. So we'll put them side by side actually. There we go. So, um, really, I kind of like the circle graph better because it does show that ratio again. All the important details are on there. I have a title, I have the genre down here, I have the percentages. When I look at my bar graph, I have my title, I have my axes labeled, and I have a really good scale that it's easy to see that this should be 15, 11, my role playing should be 10, my strategy should be 7, 4, and 3. And it's really easy to see on both of these graphs that action's the most popular. Disadvantages of the graph, if I didn't have technology, this one would have been harder to draw. Doable, but harder to draw. This one's easier to draw by comparison. Um, and again, it comes down to like I use technology to do this, and like I said, it's super easy to do. Um, and as long as it's like reasonably spaced and reasonably accurate, you'll be fine. I wouldn't worry too hard about it. So next that you have in the booklet is you have a practice. These are from a workbook. I will post an answer key for these for you to check out what's going on. Then when you look at interpreting graphs on page 18, I'll post an answer key for that, and we'll move on to misrepresented data.